Hi, my name's Paul Grogan, and in this Gaming Rules Quick and Dirty review, I'm going to be talking about Seventh Continent. Now, this is going to be a very quick review, although I've got so much to say about this game, I might end up running over my own self-imposed limit of 5 minutes. Seventh Continent's just started arriving with backers. It was a successful Kickstarter last year before, can't remember. It was supposed to be delivered last year. As a lot of Kickstarters, it got really delayed. I've been super excited about this game for a few reasons. I don't back that many Kickstarters, so the ones that I do back, I normally get excited about. But the other reason is I was pretty sure that this is a game that me and Vicky, my long-suffering partner who doesn't really play games, was going to enjoy. Now, I've spent 10 years trying to get Vicky to play games with me, and I've tried all sorts of different styles of games, and I was pretty sure that this one was one that she was going to like. It's cooperative, we can play it together, it works best with 2 players, apparently, I don't really know. It's sort of got combinations of puzzles, choose your own adventure stuff, narrative. It's got all of those things together. So I've been going on and on and on about this game for about a year, saying, oh, it's going to arrive soon, we're going to play it. This is the only game that Vicky has ever requested that we play. Now, she'll deny this, but it's true. The other day, she actually said, shall we play Seventh Continent, without any prompting from me. So that's a very, very good sign. So I'm absolutely loving this game at the moment because we're playing it together, and it's nice to be able to play games with her because we don't normally play games. And there's so much about this game that I really, really do like. I love the exploration, the unknown, the finding things out. I love some of the little hidden things that you find in this game. The narrative-driven, it's less narrative-driven than I thought. Sure, there's flavour text on the cards and you read them out, but it's not pages and pages of text like, you know, Sherlock Holmes, for example. Now, one of the things about this game is I haven't even played a full game yet, so we've played it. I think we played 5 sessions of this game, probably between 1 and 2 hours a session. We've probably played about 8 or 9 hours of this game in total. We died, so we've now reset this game completely back to the start. We haven't even finished the first curse. So I'm giving you a review of this game, even though I haven't actually finished the first curse or tried any of the other curses. But that's because I wanted to get this video out there. It's more of a first impressions. Well, first impressions, we've played it quite a bit. I feel that that's enough to start talking about the game. Obviously, when we finish the first curse, it'll be, yes, great. And there might be stuff that happens then that I can't talk about now. So overall, really, really loving it. Should you rush out and back it on the second Kickstarter, which is going live sometime later this month, I think, well, that's up to you. This game is a game which I really, really enjoy playing, but I'm really, really enjoying playing it at the moment. And this is one of the things that I wanted to touch upon, and that is the replayability of this game. There's some parts of this game that are replayable. So, for example, on the starting space here, there are 2 random fog tiles that you will put down at the start of the game. Now, these random fog tiles are chosen from a big deck. Well, there's probably about, I don't know, 10, 15 fog tiles with this particular number on them. That means that when you explore these tiles and you flip them over, what you're getting will not be the same in each game, okay? So that bit is slightly different. But once you've seen all of those, there isn't going to be anything new. You are just going to see things, but it is going to be in a different order. Now, the other part of the game is, if you look again at the tile, when you go west from this location, you will put card 9 into play. It's always going to be card 9. So every time you go west from that location, it will always be card 9. So there are certain parts of this game which are the same every single time you play. Now, for example, if I give you an example, in one particular place we found a tree. We climbed that tree, and in that tree was a particular something. That's the same in every game we play. Now, we now know that, so if we want that particular thing again in a future game, whichever curse we're doing, we can go to that tree and we know what's going to be in that tree, okay? There are hidden numbers on some of the things, and I'm not going to show you any of these for spoiler reasons, but once you've spotted that hidden number, you know that hidden number's there, and the next time you play, you'll be able to see that hidden number again because you remember it was there. So the best experience that you're going to have with this game, I feel, is when you are first playing it. When you're exploring things for the first time, we're going to places and it's like, oh, look at that, and oh, we've spotted something. Oh, I wonder what that does. We now know what a lot of that stuff does. So there's a lot of it which is sort of replayable. But for example, I can't take this game round to a friend's house and play the start of Curse 1. You start off in a particular area which you need to get off. and I can't really play that game with them. I can lead them through the game, and I'm more than happy to do that, but if I play this game, I've got to keep quiet, because I know what's to the west, I know what thing you need to do in order to get past there, and I know that there's a hidden number just written there. I can't say those things, so I can't fully engage myself with the game. What I can do is obviously when the random fog tiles get flipped over, that will be something different. Although, as I say earlier on, I may have seen it before. So the question is, if the game isn't as replayable as I'm suggesting it is, because once we've played through the first curse probably 2 or 3 times and we know what's where and what to do it, we're not going to play that. We could play it again with different characters, but so much of this game is the exploration, the unknown, the looking for things, the sort of meta puzzle of working out what items you need to get to go where, to do what, and a lot of those things will be fixed every time you play. So once we've completed the first curse, we're probably not going to play it again. Now, there are other curses, but they are other curses which use the same island. So when we play the second curse, if that ends up going into an area of the world that we've already explored, we're going to know what's where again. So I don't know, as I said, I've not tried the other curses, so I don't know how varied they're going to be. But the question is, if me and Vicky spend our time playing through Curse 1, Curse 2, Curse 3 and Curse 4, and we've explored all of the island and we've seen everything, and the game is no longer playable for us, would it have been worth it? Absolutely yes. For the price that I paid for this, for the amount of time and enjoyment I've got out of it, it's been absolutely worth it. Is it a game I'm going to be able to play over and over and over again? Not really, because as I say, a lot of the stuff you're going to know where it is. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention is the inventory system. This is the part about the game which I really, really don't like. I'm not going to suggest they should have done it another way, but I find it overly complex, it's fiddly, it doesn't really make thematic sense, but I can understand why they've done it. So, to give you an explanation, in this game you get to craft items, which is really cool. You get an idea of how to build a shovel. Now, what's a little bit odd is that you can build that shovel even if you don't have the materials that you need to build it, it just takes you longer. But if you have the materials to build it, then you get a discount on how much time it takes you effectively. So you get to build items, that's really good. But depending on the number of players in the game, there are limits on how many item stacks you're allowed. So in a 2-player game, you're allowed to have 3 item stacks, and each item stack can have 3 items on it. So once you've crafted an item, if you craft another item, you can actually add it to the same stack. And if the keywords match, then you get to increase the durability. Durability is basically how many different times an item can be used. And that seems okay. And then when you use 1 pip off the durability, you get to use all of the equipment in that stack. So on paper, that sounded really cool. I was like, oh, I've managed to craft an Uber item that's a combination of a shovel and a raft together, and when I use it, I get the benefits of both of them. That sounds fine. But actually, in practice, what you're doing is you're making like a shovel bandage. And you're like, oh, hang on a minute, how does that work? It's a shovel, but it's also a bandage, and it is a bit odd. And then in the game, when you find food, because you're going to need to find food to replenish your life force, food is an item. And you add that onto an item stack. So you have a shovel bandage meat. But then when you eat the meat, it reduces 1 off the durability of the... It's all a bit weird, it's all a bit confusing. As I say, I'm not going to suggest that they should or could have done it another way, and I'm sure for some people it's an amazing system, but it is a little bit weird. Now, the playtime, for the first curse, I've heard anywhere between 15 and 30 hours. We played about 8 to 9 hours. The game comes with a save game mechanism, which is really good. You can play for an hour or 2, and then you can save the game, put it away, and it only takes a few minutes to put it away, which is fine. But here's a slight problem. We haven't always saved our game. Sometimes we've left it set up on the dining room table, and we've come back to it later. And there was one time we did save our game because I needed the dining room table for something else, like to eat dinner, and I wish we had have left it set out. And the reason is, the map was quite big. So we probably had about 12 tiles on the map, and we ended the game, down here. And when we saved the game, we decided the next time we play, we're going to go up here and we're going to go across a bridge. Okay, that's absolutely fine. If we'd have set the game up, if we'd have left the game set up, because of the movement rules, we could have just spent 1 action and moved from there all the way over to the other side of the map, and then we could have carried on. 5 minutes, job done. But we didn't. We saved the game, we put everything away. That means we had to re-explore all of the places. And the fog tiles, that means we had to put fog tiles down, flip them over, resolve them. It took us 45 minutes of play just to get back from one side of the board to the other side because we had to re-go through everything over again. It can be a bit of a problem. Obviously, we got to explore and we got to see new things, but we weren't interested in that. We just wanted to pick up and carry on and go over here. So we're actually leaving the game set up more often than not. Anyway, I've waffled on enough. I've said what I like about the game. I've said some of the possible downsides of the game, the replayability and things like that. But we are really, really enjoying the game. I can't wait to show it to other people because I love teaching people how to play games, and I know some people who I teach this game to are probably going to really, really enjoy it. And I can't wait until we give that first curse another go because we've learned so many things. Now, we both compare this game a little bit to Time Stories. In Time Stories, you are playing a scenario and you will play that scenario and you will do it a number of times. You will very, very rarely succeed on your first run, and that's the whole point of the game. You then go back in time, Groundhog Day style, and you redo it again with the knowledge that you had the first time round. That's exactly what we've done with this game. We've played that first curse, we died, but we've got so much knowledge. We know what's up that tree, we know how to get into we know how to do this. All of that knowledge we will use the second time we play. There are some dead ends that we went to which were a complete waste of time and cost us something. We're not going to do that again. All of those mistakes we made the first time we play, we're not going to do. The game is going to play out differently because of the random events that will happen, but the overall structure of where we go and what we do and where we're trying to go to, that's going to be the same. And we're absolutely happy with that. We've no problem with that. You know, we're learning as we go and we're learning what to do next time. As I say, very much like Time Stories. So that's probably more than 5 minutes. I don't know how long I've gone on for, but that is probably everything that I wanted to cover until this video goes live. And then I realised there's probably loads of stuff that I wanted to mention as well. But anyway, if you've got any comments, please put them in the show notes. I'm happy to reply to any questions on my BGG Guild or on the YouTube comments. So until next time, take care and thanks for watching.